Yes, it's back. It's that time of the year again. Mini drivers are absolutely everywhere, and the people, the brand that started this trend back off again, TaylorMade, released the R7 Quad. And I think the first thing we need to do is decide which is the better looking, A for Andy or B for the R7 Quad, in the comment section down below. And let's take a closer look at the aesthetics of this thing. That's some start. First shot of the day with the R7, and trust me, that's got a fair old way. My God, I love these things. Now let's be honest, I don't think we're going to learn a great deal in today's video, because we've seen many mini drivers that perform incredibly well, and the technology in this R7 Quad, in my opinion, is not greatly different. But what I will tell you is I've got an 11.5 degree head, which I've never tried, ironically, ever before. It's always been a 13.5. So that's something I'm going to personally learn from, at least. So I think it's that age-old question, who needs a mini driver and why do they exist? And it's also that age-old response from me. We've heard it a million times before. Shorter shaft, we've got a bit more loft. 11.5 is higher than most drivers that you'll buy, and obviously there's always a 13.5 degree option as well. They're user friendly, it's as simple as that. And the name that you want to apply to them, 2 wood, strong 3 wood, it doesn't really matter. This club isn't going anywhere. And again, another comment that is often made is, it's a bit of a fad, a bit of a craze, a bit of a fashion. I don't think they are. I think they're here to stay, and certainly this has now come out. We've got the GT280 coming from Titleist, we've seen the PXG version, we've seen another Callaway version. I think this marketplace is only gonna grow, because finally golfers are waking up to the fact that drivers can be really damaging when you want to play some controlled, improved golf and lower your scores. What, I do really like the TaylorMade version though. The face is, I don't know whether it's necessarily hot as such, or whether we just find the centre a bit more often and therefore it seems to zip out. But I've hit 3 tee shots now, 1, 2 and off the 3rd, and they're as good as anything I can do with driver, to be quite honest with you. Now maybe I was a little unkind saying there's no great changes in terms of the R7 Quad. The weighting system is perhaps significantly different, and one of the biggest things that it's going to separate it from its peers. And we've got 2 4-gram weights at the rear and 2 13-gram weights up front. That's how I've hit the ball so far with that setup. So obviously, for those of you who don't understand, the more weight nearer the front, less weight at the back, will produce a lower ball flight and perhaps a lower spinning version of this club head. What I will do is attempt to switch those round and see what impact it has. But that's a significant amount of weight, particularly sort of, was that 26 grams that we can shift to the back end, could make a huge difference to the launch conditions and obviously spin, and make it more user friendly at the same time. So you've got some really interesting custom fit options between those weight situations and the loft sleeve. You could make this into a club that really fits the kind of the version of it that works for you. Might be a little tight. Sit down ball. Well, it's going to be right on the line of OB, but the interesting thing for me there was just see the change in ball flight. So that's weight shifted back, which we just talked about, made a huge difference to launch, and clearly visible with just one shot about how much you can change a weight port around and what impact it can have on the overall results. I just asked Hannah to see if we could just pick up on this kind of strike area, because what you will see is the pattern is virtually right out the middle. And whilst I'm not trying to suggest my ball striking is superb, what I'm trying to convey is the fact that I'm finding the centre of that because of that shorter shaft, because of the control. And I keep trying to sell this story to everybody. It's a massive help. And I talked about ball speeds on an earlier clip. The ball speeds are better simply because, or feel like it's better, it will be better because I'm finding the centre of the club face. It's that simple. The control element's ridiculous. Anyway, just one other point I want to mention. We've got a kind of colour coded R7 matching shaft as well. They've gone to town with this. We haven't really spoke great about the visuals. Anybody who's on the kind of the sort of nostalgic route, owned the R7 first time round, this is the kind of thing that TaylorMade have played on really well. Then you're going to be drawn back to this club again. You're going to love the visuals. If I'm honest with you, it's probably not my favourite mini driver. I preferred the thing they did last year, like the kind of bubble shaft driver that we've seen from years gone by. I preferred that, if I'm honest, but this was not my era as such. But all the same, I love what they do aesthetically, and to put that kind of shaft in, and then we've got the head cover. They look really good, and they're a nice club to have in the bag, there's no doubt about that. Oh yeah, look at that. So good. Yeah. And back down, weight shifted back around again because I'd really, you know, as an 11.5-degree head, that's the kind of ball flight that I'd be wanting to see from it. And I say I'd be wanting to see because it depends what you're looking to achieve with this kind of club in the bag. Like I said, set it up that suits you. I'm just going to play one off the deck, shift the weights back for that, because again, this is something for me. If I'm going to play a mini driver off the floor, I want as much loft as I've got, and I want that weight shifted back. So we'll just zip up the fairway and we'll try a couple off the deck. Right, two balls you're going to see me hit off the deck. First one was to this pin. It was 230, well 228 actually, to this flag, and we've hit a bullet-like shot. Trajectory very low. I was trying to cut, it actually went bullet straight, and it probably carried that 226 to be fair, and has run through to the back of the green. Probably about 30 yards long, so we've got a ball there that we've managed to pick up off the fairway and get, I don't know, maybe 260 yards, which is pretty impressive. And like I said, big deal for me, not the trajectory that I would expect to see from a 3-wood. Again, very different. It's not a 3-wood. And then the next shot you see me hit was to the first pin, which was the first green, which are 1 and 8 are pretty much adjacent to each other. And this thing went like an absolute bullet. Similar sort of yardage to the flag, but we've gone through the green by another sort of 40 yards. And you can see the ball up the back there. We won't go and get that, but incredibly impressive off the deck. Something that I would, like I said, be comfortable playing. That was with weights back. Could do a lot of messing around and try weights forward and all that kind of thing, but I think we've got enough to understand that this is another weapon in TaylorMade's armory that would fit a lot of golfers. It's going to be hugely successful. They always are. And like I said, the growth of mini drivers across every brand, in my opinion, is going to continue to expand. They are a good thing. I fully, yeah, well, they're in my bag, as you well know. We'll leave it at that. I think we'll maybe do a more in-depth video now. We've got something coming up where I think we're going to have to do a kind of face-off between all these mini drivers. I've got the GT280 to come very shortly, and then after that, we're going to have to try and see what separates them. My guess would be not a lot. Anyway, as ever, thanks for watching this one, and give me feedback. Let me know what you think of the R7 Quad mini driver, and I'll see you all soon.